Midnight Ramen is a minimally edited, live recorded podcast that takes place at midnight. Although Michael may not be consuming food, it's time to get your bowls out. It's chow time.
But welcome back to you. Break stride, sailing me. Free falling, choose my enemy. Free from the things you say. It will all come back someday.
Good evening, gamers and other folks alike. I hope y'all are doing well tonight. You are listening to Midnight Run with me, Michael. Hope y'all are doing good tonight. If you want to watch this live, you can go to twitch.tv/Meltzaleric Original, all one word. You can watch this and the after show, which is after this, something. Yeah, you can watch this, but if you miss the initial stream, because, you know, it happens, you can still watch everything, even the after show, for up to 2 weeks on twitch.tv. But you can also watch the VODs on youtube.com, like every single one of them. So yeah, but I also have other videos that I like to post on there as well. But tonight's a little different because we have a guest. And let's introduce him. You know him. You love him. It's Popski. Popski99.
Say it ain't so.
Your love is a heartbreaker. Say it so. Your love. I feel like I'm gonna immediately get the podcast demonetized or something like that because of
all thanks to me.
All thanks to doing Weezer. Okay, so
what can I say?
Yeah. So the other day, I swear to God, like I was like working and I was moving like a TV back into like a storage area, and we have like music and on, we control and whatever with like a robot, like Rockbot. So it has like a bunch of songs and whatever onto it, like just popular music. And I moved the TV into like a storage area and I couldn't hear any music. So I walked back into the hallway. And it gets to like the big main like chorus of Buddy Holly. So I hear the
That's awesome.
I'm like, no fucking way. Right as I get out the door into the hallway. So I'm like, fuck. I got Weezered.
Get God, bro.
It happens all the time and it's so funny.
Uh-oh.
And specifically that song.
Oh, there we
go. You're good. But for those who don't really know Popski99, he's been a part of this group and he's been on the show before.
I have.
But he's currently
just once
in the middle of butt fucking nowhere on a government black site in the middle of Wyoming. How is that going
this
down
is all
there?
True.
I don't even know how you're even on, honestly.
Well, honestly, it's a little bit of luck. We're gonna see if the connection holds strong long enough to
pray
get us through the whole episode. What I did actually find out recently is that one of the like Wi-Fi nodes that are scattered around like the employee housing is right outside the door of my room.
Oh,
so
you're solid.
About as strong of a connection as I possibly could.
Mm-hmm. So you're solid.
Yeah.
I just see chat. I'm looking over. Like, what the hell? What's happening in Azkaban?
I don't have chat open because I do think
that's probably gonna kill you.
That will contribute.
Yeah,
to
that's gonna
network issues.
Honestly, Acid and Outsider in there just like being demons. That's what I'm just gonna say.
Me you're gonna have to read it to me.
Oh
Otherwise
yeah.
I'm not seeing it.
So Chad, if you're in here live right now, you can make me read something for Popski if you have a message.
Yeah.
If you
Q&A
have some
session.
mail. One question I wanted to ask, because like I feel like we might have talked about it before. What got you? Because I know we went to the same university, but what got
Yes.
you into the film program? Because I don't think we've ever talked about it, or you ever went into
That's a good
length.
question. So I was not originally in the film program, as you may or may not know.
That's right.
When I first went to school, I started off going for history education. I was going to be a teacher. And I got maybe like 2 months into the program, and I was like, I forgot that teaching means that you have to like deal with kids. I don't really want to do that. Um, so then I was like, well, now I need something else to do. And I was looking and trying to decide, and I didn't really know. And I had a couple friends of mine, one of whom, friend of the server, Colin, who was in the film program,
who just got married.
Yes,
literally like
married
just got
last
married
week.
this past week.
Yeah, like a few days ago.
Yeah, crazy.
But he and our other friend who was in the program was like, hey, like, why don't you just do this? You like movies and you like us. And I was like, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And so changed over, joined that program. And then both of them were gone by the end of freshman year.
That's
so then
true.
they abandoned me and said film program. And there I stayed for another few semesters until I wasn't anymore.
Oh my god. Ass is just being a demon. He's a child and he's calling you out, being like, while you
He's
deal with
DMing
kids.
me too. I know. He told me
what a little
hates me,
goober.
and then he apologized immediately.
What a goober. Like
this is why I couldn't have been a teacher.
Exactly. I feel like being a teacher in today, like even for like high school, it's like if you're even with like remotely close to like the zone, you're gonna be like in the crossfires of just things you kind of don't want.
Yeah.
Like if you say skibbity riz, all of a sudden like
that was the thing. I mean, honestly, I feel like I could have dealt with high schoolers. I just like if I would have had to do like middle school.
Oh god.
I
would have just killed myself.
I would have been close.
Like there's the US military, and then there's middle school teachers, honestly. Like
you're kind of right.
Like I hate to say it, but I'm kind of right.
I mean, yeah.
Like, and I've already talked about stories about like stuff that I did in middle school, but I don't know how the hell they dealt with us. And that was like during the Coney 2012 shit. Like, no joke. Yeah. I remember in 7th grade, we watched the entire video of that for history class.
Say, that would have been my like 5th grade, I think.
That was
Coney 2012.
So I'm trying to remember. Might have been I feel like it was 7th grade. It was kind of like the later half of the year.
Yeah.
Or later half.
It would have been like
that we watched
right before I went into middle school.
Man.
Good times.
Good times. I just remember I don't know. Like my and I talked about this one already, but like my science teacher in 7th grade had like the best room to sleep in. Like I don't know if it's because of the location I was in, but like I would always like fall asleep during his class because like if there was a movie on, I'm just dead.
You said science teacher which grade?
7th grade.
My 8th grade science teacher had the best sleeping room.
I don't know why that is. Why do
I would sleep
science
all
rooms
the time in her class?
And it's not like anything like, oh, the material was boring or anything. Like, the teacher was cool. Like, he was like he was the girls, like, high school girls basketball coach at the time, and
Yeah.
he was just a very overall cool dude, and he knew how to teach very well. But like, it must have been the exact location where I was at that I, no matter if I went to bed early, no matter what, I would always start nodding off.
My thing was,
even acid is agreeing.
My class was mostly like the kids who didn't want to be there, and then me. So like, I would just get all of my work done at like the beginning of the week. And then she would have to like babysit all these other jackasses that didn't care. So we had like an agreement. I was like, I'm getting all my work done. I will get it done ahead of time if you want me to. In the meantime, can I just use this as like a free period? And she's like,
oh,
sure.
That's so sick.
She's like, you're one of the only ones getting consistently good grades in this class, so I will cut you some slack, brother.
That's crazy. I'm more of a science guy, like a science and math kind of guy. I can't read for shit. Like, things go over my head so freaking well.
Yeah.
Like, so well.
I never was math. I was good at biology, but when it came to like chemistry and stuff like that, I was not good. I was definitely more of like an English, like history, that side.
Like, I was decent. Yeah, I was good at chemistry, even biology I was good at. But like I think the hardest math, in my opinion, is not calculus. It's fucking accounting. It sucks because like you gotta bounce it out. And even then, if you don't get 0, you're just like, where did I fuck up?
Yeah, like what?
And you gotta make up numbers to make it equal 0. That was like, dude, so dumb.
I've already had my fair share of accounting bullshit just being out here. Just like rich hotel guests want a nickel and dime every little tiny thing.
I feel like hotels, like, I don't know. I feel like in some regards, like even with my position, it's like I kind of want a nickel and dime in some instances, depending on, the guest or the client.
Right.
But in other cases, like, well, they didn't think about this one thing. It's fine. If they want a microphone or a plug-in, it's like no skin off my back.
The specific example that's in my head right now, there was this older lady who was here for like a week, and she was checking out. I think she checked out today, thank God. But she was just a nightmare, just to everybody. Just everything, nothing was right. Nothing was the way that she wanted it to be. And then she came up to the counter last night and she's like, I want to settle my bill before I leave in the morning. We were like, okay.
Christ.
And then she pulls out her own calculator and starts going over the bill with us at the front desk. And was like,
man.
Now what's this? Now what's this charge? What's this one? What? I shouldn't have to pay for this. I don't know what this is. And just, she was up there for so long. And then she left and came back.
What?
Because she had more questions.
Like, I get the coming back and asking more questions, but...
Right. And, like, I do get it. When you're paying, like, $500 a night for your hotel, you kind of deserve to know what all of your money is actually going towards. I get that. But if you are, like, do it in a way that doesn't make like a big scene, because she came like right to like the middle desk when there's like people around her trying to check in, and she's like, I need to look at this right now.
Yeah.
So that was the week that I had.
Oh man.
But now I'm off, and I'm off tomorrow, and life is good, and I'm recharging.
That's good. I've heard that earlier today you saw the movie Furiousa. And we're not going to get into spoilers about it because it's a new movie. It's a new movie. And plus, like,
brand new.
Would it be spoilery enough to say that it's just basically a prequel to Fury Road?
No, I think it was pretty well advertised that way. I think that.
Yeah, I think because like it's a Mad Max story within,
right.
and just even within the advertising, you see Immortal Joe.
Yeah,
like you see him, so you know it's a prequel.
Exactly, you know it's connected.
I like what they did with the movie. It's not like
that was very well done.
As action packed, and I can't remember when I seen Fury Road, but I don't think I've seen the whole entire thing. But like,
really,
no, I mean, it's like I need see a lot of movies, but I know I've seen like enough of the movie to like to get it and to know what's going on. But like, it definitely felt like the action in the movie was not as like intense or like as
it wasn't as like
bombastic.
A big contributing factor, honestly, for me was the music. I don't think that the music was as intense in this one.
Yeah, that does make sense. Although there are good action scenes. A lot of good action scenes.
So the first time that I saw Fury Road, actually, I hated it.
Really?
Because when I went to go see it, I was seeing it in my little like hometown movie theater, and we had it down. So the movie theater in my hometown, there are 3 theaters in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And theater 3 is down this long, narrow hallway. And it's the only theater that we have that still has a 35 millimeter film projector. So it was cool. Like, I am grateful in hindsight to be able to say that I got to see a 35 millimeter print of Mad Max Fury Road.
But loading it up,
the audio was busted. I couldn't hear hardly any of the movie. I had no idea what was going on. So to me, it was just dumb. And I was like, this was a waste of time. This sucked. And then years later, I saw it on like DVD, and I watched it again. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is one of the greatest action movies ever made.
Mm-hmm.
I am completely changing my opinion here.
I think my worst experience in a movie theater, my most recent like worst experience, was when I saw Thor: Love and Thunder, because the movie theater I went to now doesn't exist. But it was very ran down. Like, they had a lot of theaters, but like it was stadium seating. There wasn't the audio was like busted. Like in the left ear, I could like hear just like a high-pitched like squealing noise the entire time. So I'm just like kind of like doing like a hunchback sort of thing, trying to like block it out. Just like, and it wasn't like a super big screen either. And plus,
I'm trying to think of the worst movie theater experience I've had now.
And plus, like, Thor 4 wasn't great. It had some good emotional moments, but like,
yeah. Well, this isn't the worst by any means, but today, actually, when I was watching Furiosa, a guy came in kind of late, just a couple minutes late, but he came and sat right next to me, and his phone rang. I'm not kidding you, 3 separate times.
Oh boy!
In the first like 20 minutes of the movie, and the third time he just goes, he's like, "What's going on?" and like pulls his phone out and like can't get the ringer to shut off. It took everything I had to lean over and be like, "Dude, are you good? Like, like what's going on here?"
I think when me and my girlfriend went to see Furiosa, I think the main thing that we had during the movie is someone behind us, because they had recliner chairs. You could hear their motor going, like they were like shifting it a couple times, but I think once just to get a little action, like action, I guess. I don't know. But once Anna Taylor-Joy was on screen, it stopped. We never heard it again.
They're
wish I was
locked in.
kidding. They were locked in.
That's
I don't know
really funny.
like I don't know if it was like a male, female, whatever on the binary, whatever. But it's just like,
They're here for one reason and one reason only.
Exactly. Which I heard
What?
has a traumatic experience that she does not want to talk about, but
I read
get
that
it.
interview that they were like, filming this movie was insane.
Meanwhile, Chris Hemsworth was like, yeah, I had a fun time.
He had a great time.
You had a great time.
Dude, he killed it in that movie. I
killed.
love when he plays a villain.
Mm-hmm. Because like it was like kind of hamming up like he did in like in like the later Thor movies, but he was still like menacing. Or like
Right.
he was dementing.
Yeah.
Thus Dementus.
That's his name.
That's his
Did
name.
you ever see the movie? Probably not, because a lot of people didn't. The movie is called Bad Times at the El Royale.
I heard about it. I've seen some of it, kind of near the end.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't want to.
So he's the villain in that movie as well, and he does an incredible job.
Really, he was a bad guy. Like I can't.
A villain.
Yeah, he's a villain because I think the parts that I've seen, because it's like it's shown up on like FX when I was at work, is like kind of more towards the end where there's just a bunch of gunfighting, and then the whole building is like on fire.
Yeah. That is a movie I would highly recommend.
It's
under
also
most
weird.
people's radar.
It's
but
also
so
weird.
Good.
During that like sequence, you get the like guy that was in the military. It like goes to a flashback of him like then and only then, once he has a rifle in his hands, he's like, all right, let's just do a flashback of when he was a kid, and then during Vietnam, just him. And then cuts to him, and then cuts to him just sharpshooting. It's like, oh god. And they're like, oh, we can fight him. Mm-mm. No, don't.
Highly recommended. Everyone go watch Bad Time at the El Royale, or Bad Times at the El Royale.
Yeah.
Great movie.
I'd recommend Sharknado. All 5 or 6 of them.
How many are there? There's at least 4.
You know what? Let's look that up. Hold on. Let me go to check this out. NATO. How many Sharknado films are there? Fuck. I can't spell at all. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6.
Oh my god.
It's so crazy. So like it was on Sci-Fi one day, and holy fuck, the movies go hard. Like obviously they're campy as hell, but like
they do.
I think like the main character's wife gets like, I don't know, like she gets vaporized or something, but she comes back as a cyborg. It's just like, that's not even the craziest thing. But then they use tornadoes or sharknadoes to go back in time. It's so fucking...
I'm not sure that I've ever seen one of these
it's so
to end.
Dumb. It's so dumb, but it's amazing. Because like, as you're watching this film, and honestly the story is, I mean, as campy as it is, it's not bad in terms of like story, like, you know,
for what it is,
made
it's
for
like,
TV.
okay.
But like every so often you just see a cameo from some random actor or actress, just like, is that David Hasselhoff? Who shows up in multiple movies? It's like, oh, is that
so
Danny Trejo? Like, they get just like the most random actors, like George R.R. Martin, I know shows up in one of them. I don't remember which.
Isn't Conan O'Brien in one of them?
Yes. Oh, Frankie Muniz shows up in one.
That's incredible.
I think it was Sharknado 3. And then it's so weird because like it's the main guy, his current slash ex-wife, also his kids, but also his ex-girlfriend. But they're like all cool and shit. And even his wife is like, yeah, I probably figure that you two are fucking, but I don't care. It's like,
She's
what?
like, there's bigger things to worry about. We got Sharknadoes up
Yeah,
in here.
we got a Sharknado outside. I don't know if you guys see this. It's got our son.
think
And he's wearing a shark helmet that's sending him through time.
It sounds like the greatest movie ever made, maybe.
It is.
It's good. Thank you for the confirmation.
It's so buck wild, but it's just funny. It's so like, it's stupid. It's both so dumb, but it's also so amazing at the same time.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't think a greater series will ever come about in our lifetime. MCU, Any attempt to get the DC universe up, Monsterverse, dead on arrival. Dead on arrival. Trying to think of what other film.
Monsterverse? What Monsterverse?
Monsterverse? Except for the Kaijuverse, though. The Kaijuverse, though.
That's cool.
That one's cool. But that's also because, like, it's not serious. But it's fun. But it's also not serious. But it's also serious.
But also not.
Like, it's serious, but it doesn't take itself serious. Like, yeah, human politics are all the seriousness, but when it comes to Godzilla fighting Rodan for the third time, you know he's going to give him the top ropes.
I remember when Godzilla vs. Kong, the first one that came out in, like, what, 2020? It was around then, I think.
Around then.
Maybe, like, 2021. Yeah.
I think that's right. Yeah. With Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah. And I remember my mom and my sister and I were visiting my grandmother down in Arkansas. And one day we were just kind of looking around for things to do. And I was like, hey, Mom, do you want to go watch a big lizard punch a big monkey? And she was like, I guess. we went and watched it together, and she was like, she's like, I would have never ever gone to that ever, like, by myself, but that was actually pretty fun. And I was like, that's the power of the cinema.
That is the power.
You know the best part of that? When we went down there, we went to the at the time newly opened movie tavern, which, as you may know, was purchased by Marcus Theaters. So imagine my joy walking in, and I didn't know this at the time. So imagine my joy sitting down to this movie in Arkansas and then seeing Greg Marcus appear on the screen in front of me. I almost had a stroke. I was losing my mind in that seat, dude.
You know, before we forget, let us pray to Greg Marcus and pray that our films are ever glorious.
That's right.
Dear Greg Marcus.
The holy V8. The holy V8 engine.
The holy V8 engine. Oh my god, I forgot about that in the movie. Man, the amount of fire in Furiosa. I don't know about Furio, but the amount of like fire shit. It's like, how did they dodge that,
dude?
It's like, how, like, if they did that, I know they did, like, definitely they digitally edited stuff, but like if they did that practical, no fucking way. No fucking way.
Definitely more CG that I noticed in this one compared to Fury Road.
It did feel a little bit.
I'm not like a CG hater by any means. I think that I don't care if that's what you think is best.
Yeah, it's not goofy, but it's like.
And my thing too is that, like, I know George Miller's work. I know that he can do perfectly fine without it. So if he's deciding to use it, it's just a creative choice.
Oh yeah, totally. Because like
there's some people where it's like you see them do it and you're like, okay, you're using this because you
Mm,
don't know how to do anything else, and you're just like using this as a crutch.
yeah.
But like George
It's,
Miller is
and
incredible. So
especially
like if
with
you
the
want to
movie,
use
that
it,
what they were doing too, like some of the stunts,
exactly,
like how could you do it practically without, spending a shit ton of money or hurting your actors? Like you don't want to do that.
right,
Like you're something, and there's only so many of them,
right. But
especially
like
if
I
they're
said, like
flying.
Fury Road, I think was almost entirely practical. Like
Mm-hmm.
they just were out there just crashing a bunch of cars in the desert
Whoopee.
with a bunch of crazy Australians.
Man, I would say that Mad Max is just the Australian version of Fallout and vice versa. But that's just an
Yeah,
average day in the outback.
it kind of is. That's what I saw a tweet that was like, I think it would be so funny if we saw like outside of Australia during the Mad Max movies and
Mm-hmm.
everything's just pretty much normal.
Yeah, everything's just
Like
pretty much normal. They're just like,
how they just this is just how they decided to act one day.
it's like, yeah, we took like 3 years. We found reliable God, I can't speak. Reliable resources to get energy,
Yeah.
and yeah, we're here. Well, I wonder what Australia's
Dude,
doing.
I
Yeah,
thought that
witness me.
Gastown looked so cool. I don't think that they showed what Gastown looked like in Fury Road.
I would
Just
not
that
know.
big moat of gasoline
Oh yeah,
around the whole thing.
it's like, yeah, you can just
So
burn
cool.
that up immediately.
I know.
It's crazy they didn't do it.
Such a dude, it was just such a I liked that it didn't like it didn't take time to like try to explain too many things to you.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, yeah, this is just the way that things work.
Mm-hmm. Because even with like the beginning too, with like you're going into a Mad Max film, you know what you're going into. So like
Right.
it's like, oh yeah, there was a resource war, and people are like got crazy. That's all you need to
Yeah.
know.
Exactly.
We're in Australia. Wahoo! Let's go.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Uh, Dune 2. And people are saying, "Oh, cinema's back." It's like it's not entirely. I don't know what is about this year, but like either movies are make or break. Because like the only like, I feel like the only movie to really make a ton of money was Dune 2.
It is true. But I also think so I think like I see people talking about how movies are not doing well or theaters are not doing well. I've went to the movie more in the last 2 months than I have in the last like year.
Mm.
Like I feel like lately there's been heat coming out,
Oh yeah.
and I've been feeling real good. But I also think
Oh yeah.
that
You've been feeling good. Ah.
it I also think that it is hard for us to I think that we are still seeing the effects of how tight of a grip Marvel had on Hollywood
Mm-hmm.
for like a decade.
Oh, totally.
Because we're at the point now where if a movie doesn't make back its entire budget in its first weekend, everyone jumps on it and decides that it's a failure,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy because that's not how it was
Oh
before
yeah.
Marvel, and it's not how it's going to be after Marvel either, unless it's like a real exceptional case.
Oh, definitely. I think damn. I thought I just had one. Cuz like especially like even with like Furiosa, like people are like, "Oh, it's only made 25 million in the box office." Like it's the first weekend. It's also Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, it's like that's a pretty strong weekend still.
It
It's not
is.
gonna like it's not a $500 million weekend like
Mm-hmm.
fucking Endgame was, but like no one expected it to be, or they shouldn't have been.
And it's also a year where there's only like one or two Marvel movies coming out, which is
Right.
honestly a little wild to think about. Like a couple years ago, they were just like pumping them out.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like it's a good year to get a
truly,
cleanse of it.
if you think about it, it was almost 20 years that the MCU was just the majority of Hollywood. Iron Man came out in 2007. It's 2024. It's been almost 20 years since Iron Man, dude.
2008.
2008.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, even so. Wait, when in 2008? May. So about like,
We just had the anniversary then.
oh, like
Not too
over
long ago.
16, like over 16 years. Yeah. It can legally drive at this point.
Yes.
That's crazy to think that it
I
can.
know.
It's at that age that it can drive.
And that's, I mean, from there up until what? When did you say Marvel kind of started to lose
I think kind of last year kind of
like
lost the
its
plot.
steam?
I wouldn't say after Endgame, because like it still had some good bangers coming out, because you still had the Spider-Man movie, which both of them were good. Like,
It was probably after No Way Home that the MCU really
yeah, because like I think
kind
after
of
that
started to tip downwards.
was Doctor Strange.
Mhm.
Even Black Panther, Black Panther Wakanda Forever
Ooh.
wasn't honestly, in my opinion, wasn't that great. And it sucks because like, it's about the legacy of Chadwick Boseman, but it wasn't a memorable film.
I didn't even see it.
Like,
Genuinely, so
yeah.
this is I've talked about this before. Like with the MCU, I pretty much checked out after Endgame
Mm-hmm.
myself, but there were still a few that brought me back. Like I saw Spider-Man 2, or what was it, Far From
Yeah,
Home.
Far From Home.
Um, saw that, and then the next Marvel movie that I saw was No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the next Spider-Man movie, and then I saw Love and Thunder, and then I saw Guardians 3.
Oh yeah. I
And I
forgot
think
about Guardians
Guardians 3
3.
was the last one I saw. But that was only, what, a year ago?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like, with the exception of Guardians 3, I think a lot of the movies in the MCU have just been kind of mid and flops.
Yeah. I remember walking out of Guardians 3 and feeling like if this was the last Marvel credit sequence that I ever saw, I think that this would be a fitting end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the way that that movie ended felt
Fucking
like it could have
amazing.
been like a finale,
Oh yeah.
genuinely. And I kind of wish that it would have been.
Yeah. I like what they did with them. Oh, just the way that they ended it with Dog Days Are Over. Oh my
Dude,
god.
I was a mess. I was
Oh,
sobbing.
I was crying. Like, if you were
I was like ugly crying. Like I had to sit and gather myself afterwards before I could walk out.
like, I feel like if you weren't crying during that scene, and no offense to like anyone that didn't, but it's like, if you weren't crying during that, what happened to you? What happened in your life that caused you to be so
Yeah.
callous? It's like, god damn. It was just so emotional, but like just raw. But you know what else is raw?
I have something to show you. Hang on.
While you get ready to show that, I'm gonna roll some dice. We're gonna open. Oh, we're gonna open 3 magic packs. So I gotta pick out which packs. Dune 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh fuck. Fuck. So 6, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, I swear to God, if it's a 1, 1, 2,
Face.
this one, this one, this one. Yuck. I mean, we're getting close to the next set. I really want to watch Dune 2 again. I think my as I'm opening these packs, I'm just gonna open the seals of them. Uh, oh, that was a good open. I feel like that my favorite track in it is the called Between a Quiet Place Between the Storms, because it has the.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, oh, and then it goes into like,
dude, the Dune score is everything about Dune is insane. I can't wait. The thing I'm most excited for is to just back to back watch them.
Oh yeah,
like
that's
finally be able to see it as a complete work.
Literally what we did. Well, because
yeah,
kind of coincidence, because when we saw them, it was just on like TNT at the time, so we just watched it in the hotel room. And then when it came to the day, it's like, oh, okay, we're already up to go. We're ready. We've seen it like twice, unironically, just because it was on.
That's so hype. And then I'm going to do the same thing with Furiosa and Fury Road once Furiosa is out on home media.
Home media? Oh. But I feel like there's still movies that are going to be coming out that are going to be very good, though. Hard to know, though.
I'm trying to think what else is coming out this year that I'm excited for. I know there's stuff, but I can't.
I don't know if Iron Lung is coming out this year by Mr.
I thought that was spring 25.
I don't know. First pack. I fucked up the pack trick. Whatever.
Oops.
Whatever.
Patrick, I thought he worked at the Krusty Krab.
No, this is Patrick. Outlaw's Fury for the foil. Mid. Imp's Mischief. Not bad. Magda the Hordemaster. Mid pack, whatever. We're getting through these kind of quick.
Boo pack.
Boo. Requiem Raid. Good. Bandits Hall. Mead.
You know what movie I
Prairie Dog.
have changed my opinion about slightly today?
Which one?
Or upcoming movie, I guess.
The Drake.
Kevin Costner Western that's coming out.
How so?
Have you seen the trailers?
Oh, I've seen the trailers.
Horizon or whatever it's called.
Yes, that's exactly.
Boring as hell up until the trailer that played in front of Furiosa this afternoon. I was like, okay. I was like, they actually show something that is interesting in this trailer.
They show.
I still probably won't see it, but
yeah, like when we got quite a bit of trailers, and I'm like, I sent you a message earlier while you were in the movie. I'm like trying to guess when you were getting to a certain scene.
Yeah,
I was pretty close.
They only played us like 3 trailers. We didn't get very many trailers.
We got, oh my god, we got quite a few.
I was
like
2 or 3 minutes late.
Every horror movie under the sun. Every horror movie under the sun.
I've seen The Quiet Place, Day Zero, or whatever
except for that one.
It's called.
Except for that one, we didn't get that one.
Really?
We got Longlegs. Fuck, I can't remember the rest.
I have intentionally not watched the trailer for Longlegs because I want to go into that.
The one with Nick Cage. Even the trailer, I'll say this, like even the trailer for it, I have zero clue on what the hell's going on in it. Like the
vibes are incredible. I'm very excited for it, and I know nothing, and that's the way I like it.
Ooh, that's a good planes.
Pretty.
I get to those. Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, when are we gonna strap down Popski99 to a chair and force him to play?
They have been asking.
Oh my god! I'm gonna fucking come.
I was gonna say, did we just chum our pants?
I fucking just. Oh, it's a foil mana drain. I gotta look that up. That's like $70.
Did you just chum your C's? That's like you said that's a $70 guard?
Probably. Oh my god. Claim jumper. It's okay. Not bad. Murder. I'm looking it up right the fuck now. That was so good.
Now I'm curious.
now,
I
I'm,
have to know.
now I'm curious. Now I'm horny. I mean, what?
But to answer the questions of the people, I forgot to pack the deck, so I don't have it here with me.
That's fine.
But once I get back in October, besides playing Space Marine 2,
That is true.
that is going to be I will not stream anything else. I will not do anything besides Space Marine 2 until I have played a game of Magic with you, an outsider, and that is a promise, and that is on air right now.
$54. Which I think that was it's gonna go back up, I feel like. Because that card originally was like, if it was like a foil for this, I think would have been $70. But I feel like it's one of those cards that's like it's good, but like once it gets further away from this release, it's gonna get back up to where it was initially. Or it might just sit where it is right now, which I'm not mad about. That's really good.
That's not bad.
I fucking came.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Have to get another tab. But yeah. No, I was like, I wanted to make sure. I think the one thing during the pilgrimage for Dune 2, like, to play whatever, because like learning how to play Magic is kind of, even for me when I started, was kind of weird and hard because like the learning curve of it is it's really hard. It was intense. Like there's so many keywords you got to know, especially now that they keep adding more each set. Just like I got to commit a crime. Pulls out a gun. All right.
Or I guess.
I guess
if the rules say so.
If the cards tell me to do that, give me your money.
The heart of the cards, baby.
But I feel like once you know it, it's not super crazy. Because like there's a lot of people, like even a lot of influencers like now that are like even I feel like sometimes even further ahead than me of like knowing cards and stuff that are like, you were introduced this game less than a year ago. How are you this informed? Like like that's psychotic at certain points.
I think that's like it is just such a leap, at least in my head, like because like I want it to be where it's like you, me, probably outsider will be there, and I want it to just be like that's the only thing we're worried about. We have no time constraint. We have nothing else going on. We have nowhere else to be. We're just chill and we learn at like a good pace. But I feel like that is such like a perfect storm.
Exactly.
That it's like I realize that we will probably never actually get that. So I just need to get the mental block out of like we just need to piecemeal this.
I feel like once you come back to society away from the black site, I think that will be a lot more achievable. Like a lot more achievable. Knock on wood. A lot more achievable. But are you getting any weird radio frequencies out there? Are there worms stirring in your head? I feel like there's
not had any worms at this point, but that doesn't mean that it won't happen.
I feel like there might be bugs under your skin. I've seen just a twitch here and there. I might be crazy.
That would be so upsetting to find out.
Oh my god. Like actually having bugs under your skin. Oh god. Ugh.
Dude, we have had some crazy shit going on around here though. Just the other day. So it was my last day off. So it was like last Thursday. And we I was just here in my room. I didn't hear anything. I didn't know anything. And I come in later just to go say hi to my coworkers. They were like, "Did you see the bear today?" I was like, and one of our security guys comes up and he starts telling me the story. He's like, "Yeah," he's like, "We were just like hanging around, and it was about 9 o'clock, and we get a call saying, 'Hey, there's a bear outside,'" and they were like, "Okay, we'll go check it out." So they drive over and they round the corner, and there's just this massive grizzly bear just like digging around in the dirt just in front of like someone's room.
Oh
It's
my
like,
god.
and they're just kind of like, "Hey, Mr. Bear," just like trying to like scoot him away. And finally, he just kind of looked up at him and was just like, "All right," and just kind of like wandered off. And then he came back later in the day to the other side of the property and was causing more problems over there.
He's just a curious bear.
And he's not hurting anybody. He's just a big old guy.
He's just a big
But
bear.
like, honestly, the biggest thing when there's stuff like that going on is just control. Because if one person finds out, 500 people find out.
Oh yeah.
And they're all like, "Oh my god, a bear!"
Yeah, you're out in the wilderness. What do you expect?
Yeah, you're in the middle of fucking Wyoming in a forest.
Mm-hmm. But also, wasn't there like one day where it's like, oh, in certain areas there's just a foot of snow. In other areas you're like sitting in a t-shirt, shorts.
It was
like
that same day actually.
Oh, same day.
I drove up to Yellowstone National Park, which is connected to the park that I am in. I mean, the black site that I am in. And
sending radio waves right now. Sending radio waves.
No, but in like the south part of the park, it was like a foot of snow and actively snow. And then it was just like I hit a line, and then it was like mid-50s and sunny.
That's wild. I think the other day, like on Tuesday, I think it was like Monday or Tuesday, I was like, oh, I'm gonna leave work early. And then as I was driving home, there was like clouds in the distance, like, oh, it's gonna rain soon. So I was driving home, just bright as shit sunlight. And then all of a sudden I get to a certain point of the road where all of a sudden, whoosh, I'm like,
it's in
full coverage. I'm in full coverage of like clouds, and then like 2 miles later, just like pouring down. And that's when I learned that my windshield wipers have 3 speeds on top of my 3 regular speeds that I have. So I'm just like, huh. Because I have the knob and I can lift it up 3 times. It's like, huh. Timmer.
I've had it happen before where it's like I'm on like a long straight road and I can see the road getting wet, like coming towards me. Mm-hmm. Like I'm coming to meet the line of the rain.
Yep. I think
it's a very interesting phenomenon, an interesting sensation.
I think my weirdest time was when I was driving back home from college for like spring break, and I get to St. Cloud, and there's this like bridge where like near College Town or whatever the fuck, and it's like walking bridge. It's pouring down where I am. I pass through the bridge. It's literally sunny. Like
that's
what the hell?
Freaky. I hate
like
stuff
full
like
on, like full on, like I'm having my windshield wipers like going back and forth to like dry. It was nuts.
It's like, what's it called? Like, what was it? Midnight City in Invincible. The place where like have you seen Invincible?
I've seen season 1. I need to watch season 2. Like I know enough about the show or like the series.
I think it was season 1. It was like the city that like their version of Batman is from. where it was like cursed that
Oh.
it's always midnight there. And then he like Invincible flies in and it's like the middle of the day and then he just like reaches a point and it's midnight and he's like, what the fuck? And
Hey,
like
yo,
going
I
back
should
and
be
forth.
there. Send me there. Send me there right now.
Midnight City by M83?
Oh my
Play
god.
us out.
Play us out. Nah, I feel like we got a little bit more conversation, but
We got a little more time.
we got a little more time.
How should we spend these last few minutes together, young man?
Warm embrace, watching the sunset, even though it's dark out.
It's so dark.
So dark. So cold. Not
So
actually cold.
dark and so cold.
It's
It's
yeah.
cold here.
And even when
Let me see.
and you're further south than I am, which is wild.
It is currently 39.
Oh my god. It's
It will get down to 33 by about 5 a.m.
it's like 57 here. It'll get down to 54. Yeah, that's not a whole lot.
Friday we have a low of 31, but then next Thursday we have a high of 75.
Nice.
So it's starting to warm up.
Ah.
Cameron,
I
can actually go outside on my days off and
unironically
enjoy.
added that to my lexicon. Like my everyday lexicon. I'm just like, Timmy.
I do it more often than I would care to admit.
Like even some of my coworkers are like I go like, huh. And everyone else is like, Timmy.
Say the line, Bart.
Say the line part. Timmy. Timmy. Oh, have you heard about like in South Park's latest special? They came up with like an alternative for Ozempic, and they named it Lizzo. On God, on God, they named it
That's
Lizzo.
awesome.
It's just like, oh man, and I feel like that was written like kind of around the time when she was like, I'm done with doing this stuff. I'm done with bullying. It's like, but you were the bully. You literally told your
anything?
dad. I don't
She
know.
Responded to it.
Maybe?
Oh, we need to know.
I kind of don't feel it. You know what? We mentioned it. I feel like now we got to do it.
Lizzo, Ozempic, South Park. Oh, she has.
Okay, naming
She's
Ozempic.
responded.
My worst. I can't. My worst fear, brother. Like, you went out of your way to make your backup dancers on the weirdest, most strict diet. Meanwhile, you're doing everything in opposition to that in body positivity. It's like, what? How are you that? Not to like, I'm fine with body positivity and stuff like that, but how do you do, how are you active? Like, she's active on stage, like very active,
yeah.
incredibly. How can you be that incredibly active but still be that big? Like, I mean, there is a certain point that I feel like, you only reach to a certain point without having to like something serious happen to you, but like still, I don't get how you don't lose weight by
I truly don't get it because I guarantee you she's more fit than I have ever been in my entire life. Like,
possibly. Sumo wrestlers are pretty healthy.
that's what I'm saying. I mean,
That's
she
what
can
I'm
run
saying.
around on stage for a multi-hour show and play the flute and sing and dance. Like, I would last maybe 10 minutes before I'm like on my hands and knees.
I feel like at that point I kind of want to know what her diet is, because that could be the thing. Because like sumo wrestlers have like, not to say a strict diet, but they eat a lot, they get a lot of nutrients and stuff like that, but it's like protein, things like that. It's like, I want to know how you're able to do that. It's like, it's crazy.
Have you ever watched, or like, do you know about like my computer just fell off the little thing I had it propped up on. Have you ever watched or read anything about like the lives that sumo wrestlers lead?
A little bit.
They have crazy lives. They live in, they call them like stables, and they're like managed, like they're not allowed to go anywhere without like permission, and they have like, they all live together if they're on like the same team. And they have like a super strict schedule. All of their public outings are like planned for
No
them.
way.
Yes,
that's
it's
just
insane.
That's just the Japanese WWE. Like, honestly, it's crazy how, because I think even after World War One, they were kind of getting to like a lot of the Western stuff. So that's why, like even Babe Ruth got struck out by a Japanese pitcher, like before World War II, and once World War II came about, that's when like they reverted back to like, praising the emperor and stuff like that, and a lot of the Western culture was thrown out. But once the war was over, or World War II was over, that's when they started getting a lot of Western influences again. I feel like wrestling is a part of that as well. Like even with
probably,
like, I feel like we might have taken like the sumo wrestling aspect, but like used, more Eastern, actual like wrestling, like what is known to be wrestling. Made American, made it a show. There's a lot of good like in the circuits. Like there's a lot of circuits, and I don't want to get too deep into it because we should probably wrap it up. But like the circuits of like wrestling, like Minnesota, especially in the Twin Cities, there was a huge, like a lot of the great known WWE like esque wrestlers are from the area. So it's like a lot of them were trained by Vern Gagne. And even my dad, when he was a kid, like he would always like go watch wrestling when he can, and he's even like had beers with some of them, and back in the 80s and stuff like that. It's like crazy. Like they'd work at bars or as bouncers.
Well, that's
just
like
absolutely wild.
My dad told me that he wrestled, I think it was Brock Lesnar's brother in high school. Like Brock Lesnar was like too young for him to have been matched up with, but they would have been like in the same like weight class. Like there was a very real chance that my dad could have like high school wrestled Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, like the University of Minnesota like cherishes him.
Yeah,
because like obviously,
right? I mean, he's huge,
absolutely huge.
And,
like literally, figuratively, and literally,
like physically huge. Yeah,
good guy. But as I look at the clock, it is not midnight here. But before we go, I was up to like feel like, oh, let's just wrap it up here. No. If you want to watch this live, you can go to twitch.tv/Miltlerk Original, all one word, and you can interact in the chat live. Or if you're tight like me and Popski, you could eventually be on the podcast. Can you imagine showing up on the podcast?
You could go to your own black site and be on your own episode.
Oh my god. The worms.
You could get the worms.
You could get worms in your head.
Next time you speak to me, I will have worms.
Possibly.
There's a chance that
send the right frequency and you're turned to an entirely different person.
Well-known 3-year mountain brain worms.
Yeah. I think he warped a little bit there.
They may strike.
Guys, he warped there. He warped a little bit there. I think he might actually have them. I think he might have heard me. If you want to watch, you can also watch the after show on my Twitch. But if you can't make it live, because that happens, it's late. You can still watch it for up to 2 weeks on Twitch until it goes bye bye. But there's also on my YouTube channel where you can watch not only this episode, the trimmed down version of this, but like every single one is on there. And eventually on Spotify and Apple Music, I think at episode 100, I feel like it's probably when I'm going to put them up on that, because like kind of starting fresh. I just got to actually remember to do it. This is episode 84.
What number are we at? What episode
84,
is this?
I feel like.
Nice.
Or 85. It's probably 84. My fucking legs are so sweaty. It's not even that warm in here. I just feel so sweaty under my legs. But that's unimportant.
I turned my fan off so that it wouldn't mess with the recording, and I am starting to get toasty as well.
I like to thank Gradients for the use of their song Used to It off of the album The Call. They're moving down to the cities, and they're actually kind of close to where they're not too far from where I'm at, but I feel like I'm definitely going to visit them after work sometimes or whatever.
Nice.
So that's going to be fun. Probably see them more. Pay them a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I have paid them because like I'm using their music, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. They're good dudes. Some of the stuff that they have on their wall is just absolutely buttfuck wild. They have like 2 walls,
Really?
like a wall of shame, where it's like, oh, just stupid stuff, like receipts and bills that they haven't paid off or something like that. But then they also have like an emergency wall, so they have like a, like a little thing of like beef jerky, a pregnancy test, a drug test, like some coupons for like for food. It's just like so wild shit. And like they also have like, I don't know if I want to talk about the hit list, but they have like a funny hit list on it that just makes no sense. Of like,
when I was in high school theater, we made a hit list of the entire rest of the theater department in order of who had to die, including ourselves, and we lost it, and it was then found by someone else. But we had like code names for everybody. And so they were like, what the fuck does this mean?
The number's missing.
Be like,
what do they mean?
Know. Or like, I've never seen that in my life.
I feel like it's good that you had code names.
We got really lucky.
Oh my god. Yeah. I think that is there anything you want to promote? Although when you're at a Plex, I don't know. It's not much.
Come on down to the Grand Teton National Park and enjoy some of the greatest nature you can see.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah. I mean, Popski also streams, but not now because he's currently away. But he likes Warhammer.
Really.
Oh, we didn't talk about Warhammer. Whoops. Oh, well, too late.
No, maybe next time.
Ah, damn it. But anyways,
I guess there'll just have to be a next time.
There'll just have to be a next time. I mean, as I look at the clock right now, it may not be midnight here, but it is midnight somewhere. But until it becomes midnight here once again, we will wait. I have to get the right motion. Wait, wrong way. I'm trying to find the right. Oh, it's this corner. We will see you next time. But until then, bye bye.
Used to it.